This is the story of a journey made by British battalion groups 3 times every year. A training journey over 7,000 kilometers. A journey to stretch and to mold them. To mold them into a team. One company in transit, outward bound from Britain. On their way to work in Africa. What do they expect out there?
There's a lot of wildlife out there. That's the main sort of thing I'm really looking at.
What kind of problems?
There's obviously problems with heat, stress, and infective diseases and things like that for soldiers exercising.
And the general view?
It's just different. We haven't trained in the jungle before, most of us haven't, and it's just been new experience.
It'll be new, all right, no contest. Kenya straddles the equator in the east of Africa. Both landscapes and climate vary dramatically, allowing for exercises where the only limits are those of the commander's imagination. It's one of the United Kingdom Land Force's most valuable training areas. More specifically, 5 areas are currently available for battalion group exercises. All different, all spread in a rough crescent near their operational base town, Nanyuki, on the equator. Farthest north, Archer's Post. All arms field firing for units up to battalion strength. Southwest, Dol Dol. Dry training on rugged high ground again for battalion groups. If the commander wants, and this goes for every area, Dol Dol can be linked to another area, Mpala Ranch, say, to its west, a field firing area suitable for company-sized training. On the western slopes of Mount Kenya, Gathuru is a small dry training forest area. On the southern slopes, Kathandini, jungle warfare training for battalion groups, dry or live. At the same time as the battalion group exercise is a Royal Engineers squadron exercise, for which places like the Aberdare Mountains offer challenges all of their own. Gateway to them all, the capital, Nairobi. With a population of close on 2 million, Nairobi is the largest African city between Cairo and Johannesburg. At 2,000 meters above sea level, it can also take a little acclimatizing. Modern and cosmopolitan downtown. Its back streets a seething, standstill chaos of traffic and people. Nairobi gives to most their first glimpse of the multi-religious tribal democracy that is Kenya today. Not that troops will see much of it. Kahawa Barracks is their first port of call, 15 kilometers north. This is Kifaru Camp, directly behind the barracks and home to the host unit, Batlusk, the British Army Training Liaison Staff Kenya, and the name fits the function exactly. Batlusk holds and maintains the vehicle pool for all visiting units. It provides basic camp stores for every exercise. It maintains constant and close liaison with the Kenyan authorities, both military and civil. It cannot, though, as a secondary supply depot, and that in Africa, provide all the instant spares and replacements its visitors too often assume, so do be warned.
Morning, gentlemen. Welcome to Kahawa Barracks. Police brought the sunshine with you, because it's been raining since we've been here. Shortly, you'll be going off to breakfast. Up to your right is the Makuti, where there are some beds, showers, and washing and shaving facilities, toilets. You can do that within the 2 hours that you're going to be here. After you've had your breakfast, you'll be getting back onto the coaches that you arrived in and moving up to Nanyuki Camp, which is about a 2.5 to 3 hour journey.
A typical Kenya road, where the speed limit of 80k is too often ignored and defensive driving is a must.
Well, first impressions, well, it ain't sunk in yet that I'm in Africa.
Apart from that, it's very hot, very sweaty.
Roads are in crab order. Roads certainly need sorting out. Apart from that, very smoky, very hot, very uncomfortable, but looking forward to it.
North from Nairobi, the ground rising a further 300 meters through Kikuyu country. Baden-Powell, the Boy Scouts founder, who was buried here, once called this near to heaven. But sleep on a long journey comes pretty close to heaven too. Nanyuki at last, in the shadow of Mount Kenya, slap on the equator. A tent here and a bed. Daybreak. Transport brought up from Kahawa stands waiting. Nanyuki is only a transit camp for the exercise, so there's no question of any long-term stay. Its only permanent structures are messes, washrooms, and basic officers for Battalion HQ and Echelon, who will be based here throughout. Alongside the camp, the Army Air Corps detachment on call to units day and night, getting hands-on experience of desert casevac, high-altitude flying, and tropical navigation. Only 20 hours out here and the new arrivals are on the move again, off to wherever the training cycle wants them. All troops, though, need time to acclimatise, both to heat and to altitude, if they are to function effectively.
Right, first thing, number one then, okay? Water discipline.
For these men, this means a 2-day NAVEX, exploring the bush, learning its rules, before a week of minor tactics.
Has everyone got everything they need? Because if you haven't got it, once we're out there, we're not coming back in to collect it.
Nothing's forgotten. They're off, into the wilds. Behind them, Mount Kenya, among the highest in the world with the equator's only permanent snow cap. Ahead, whatever the NAVEX brings. This is a corner of Impala Ranch, a bit different from the UK and tabbing it across the moors. This is bush country, wild and beautiful.
Great time, mate. People pay thousands for this.
By mid-morning, it's 35 degrees. Acclimatization continues.
You see some little wildlife, saw zebra. Got a few photos. We just take it nice and casual, really. Just sit, enjoying taking in the country itself, because a lot of people just travel around and don't actually take in what's around them, you know?
Country's right, real green and peaceful. It's great. Wildlife, seeing it all right close up in our own habitat. It's brilliant.
Oh, you showing me white arms? Can't be doing that.
Skin care through clothing and sunscreen, just too important out here to neglect.
Jamaica, mate.
That puts us in that direction. So what we'll do, we'll head between the two, those two there, right? All right, 2.5 Ks we got, okay, for the next one. I reckon an hour and a half tabbing.
Well out of the sunlight here. and another kind of footwork, a different acclimatization. To the jungle of Cathandini. Larger and denser than Gathuru to the north, Cathandini is an ideal environment for all jungle warfare training, right up to battalion group level. Units can live deep in the jungle, practicing survival techniques or acting, as here, enemy, waiting to be first located, then taken out by friendly forces. Dusk over Kenya, a 20-minute wonder filled with strange sights and sounds. Yet another form of acclimatization for British soldiers in an alien world. Daybreak, Cathandini. These men stink. For over a week, they've been roughing it in the jungle, forming a part of it, not washing, shaving, cleaning their teeth. No cosmetic smells to attract either jungle insect or advancing enemy in all their days of silent hide-and-seek. But today, they have been found. Skirmish over, Kazivac, and a few here for real, torn ligaments in the assault. Was it worth it?
Learned quite a bit because obviously we don't live in the jungles in the UK, and it's a different way of living, totally enjoyable.
We learned a lot of new skills that we didn't come over here with, thanks to the Pathfinders and the Recce platoon.
It's so concentrated in the jungle on drills and skills that people must do and must live with each other. And it's where you find out what soldiers are really, really like.
Dol Dol, 400 square kilometers of high-altitude bush. Craggy hills crisscrossed by deep ravines and fast-flowing rivers. Easily room for a battalion group, but local homesteads scattered throughout do limit it to dry training with pyrotechnics. From Dol Dol, units can maneuver, if they wish, northeast to Archer's Post, or westwards to Mpala Ranch. 200 further square kilometers of open bush and scrub, bordered by the Iwaso River, dominated by one central feature, Mokenya. In the 35 square kilometers surrounding this, a company field firing area. But never forget, this is Kenya, where nomads will wander with their herds. Vital then, and good observer training, to spot and report any down there before field firing starts. The battalion group exercise is designed to develop teamwork in a harsh and unfriendly environment. And minor tactics are vital building blocks in this process. While the mortars and artillery can be training independently at Archer's Post, at Mpala Ranch, a convoy ambush with Kazivac.
Stand by the medical staff, they're contacting with the checkpoint.
From Kahawa, Batlusk helps fund a small number of community projects. This is Timau, near Nanyuki. where battalion group sappers with time out between battle runs are building a recreation hall and washrooms in a school for homeless children. Time out for others, not local leave, but the odd hour off in Nanyuki. An African market town, small, dusty, of no great beauty, but it's on your doorstep and a break from training. And a word to the wise, to many locals, soldiers are rich, and muggings do happen. So don't go downtown alone, and don't show off. You're a guest here. Just be polite, stay sober, and you'll be treated as one.
400. Yeah, 400.
And don't forget, if ever you're shopping, all souvenir prices are, well, negotiable. 4,000 meters up on the high moorlands of the Aberdare Mountains and National Park, just the sort of place you might find the Royal Engineers Squadron on exercise Oak Apple, sponsored here by the Kenya Wildlife Service. Their training projects: bridges, roads, buildings, improvements for the park. With their base far down in the foothills, the men working up here must live in forward camps above the tree line and among the wildlife.
We've had no threat really from wildlife. Every time we're out on a task or out on site, we actually have a ranger with us, an armed ranger, so there's no problem there.
And working so high?
It's cold at night. Pick up a water jerry can, walk about 10 yards and absolutely knackered. It's really like, you know, different, thin atmosphere, get retired really quick.
It is hard going. This bridge, now being rebutted and rebuilt, was swept away by recent heavy rains, cutting off the road to the high moors.
The task we've got is basically to reopen the Karamu loop track, which is an existing alignment. We've really been working on and off because of the weather. At the moment, the sun's out, so the machines are out on the southern part of the alignment, cracking on, trying to catch up.
The poaching of wildlife is a constant menace in Kenya's national parks, so in helping improve the roads here, Oak Apple is clearing the way for both tourists and for more effective wildlife patrols.
The job itself is good, and it's, at the end of the day, you can see the reward.
Poaching up here is today down some tenfold on recent years. Overlooking a waterfall, set among thickets of tree heather, an overnight rest house and washroom, badly needed in these remote moorlands, completed in a single exercise. So how do these lads see Kenya?
I love it. Last year I came out with 8 Squadron and we built 2 viewing platforms over a 1,000-foot waterfall, which was about 5 k's down the road at Kururu Falls, and that was really good, very exciting and quite dangerous really. We were on ropes for most of the time, but it was a really good job. I've been there this year just to have a look at it, and it's overgrown a bit and it really sets in well with the rest of the scenery. The experience is very good because it instills a great deal of initiative and flexibility, which in UK sometimes tends to be kept back a bit, whereas out here people have to think on their feet and actually get the job done themselves.
On the forested lower slopes of the Aberdares, facing Mount Kenya to the east, this exercise's final project, a major game lodge, Rhino Retreat. Exercise Oak Apple, putting something back into Kenya for the training we take out. Back to the battalion group. Field firing. A platoon attack at Impala Ranch.
Contact well up. Okay.
Every discipline tested so far comes under the microscope. Too late for indecision.
High five identified 2 enemy positions, both section miners. The move round within the platoon from this position to the FUP will be 3-2, 2 commanders group, us. Let's give it fucking everything, okay? Right, fan out, Charlie, then Delta. Away you go. Come on, let's go.
As a battleground, Kenya is a real test for the infantryman. No pampering out here. No APCs to bus him forward.
Okay, smoke inbound, go.
Out here, battle fitness really counts, right through to the objective. And 35 degrees is the coolest it'll get. Out here, it's a battle with basics. Soldier, environment, objective. No trimmings. No, not shell bursts. Geothermal springs, capped by the largest power station in Africa. You'll find them down in here. Hell's Gate, a Rift Valley gorge once sacred to the Maasai tribe and now a national park. Just one of the many places in the Batlusk Adventurous Training Package, designed to combine battle fitness training with a wider view of Kenya, the country. From mountain bikes to white water, the Tana River Rapids. You want more? Try rock climbing.
Try and swing your left leg up.
There's mountains too. A gentle stroll up Longonot, rising sheer out of the Rift Valley floor.
We're climbing up an extinct volcano, and I don't believe we're doing this for fun, actually. But the views are amazing.
There's a dozen other options. Climb Mount Kenya, if you're up to it. Or try canoeing on the Rift Valley Lakes. This is Naivasha in the south. But steer well clear of these guys. Funny they may look, killers they can be. Whatever your adventurous training, it'll take you to the very heart of one of the wonders of the world today, Kenya's wildlife. The fringes of the northern desert and a disappearing world. These herdsmen are Samburu, nomadic cousins of the Maasai, whose wealth is measured in camels and goats, not shillings and pence. This is their country we're entering now. On our way to the primary all-arms training area, Archer's Post. Crossing the Iwasu River after a 4-hour journey from Nanyuki along roads scarcely worth the name. To base camp and the field guns ready and waiting for the final battle run. This is the Kenya of the picture books. Here, mankind itself was born. Night time in the Samburu. .81mm mortars put up illumination for night patrols. Night and day, the light guns. Daybreak reveals the area, separated east from west by a central outcrop. 375 square kilometers of low-lying semi-desert. Archer's Post is used mainly for battalion group all-arms field firing. When we arrived, they were deployed in the eastern sector, their commanders busy identifying enemy positions on the hills to their west.
Okay, from the top of that termite hill, just up at 11 o'clock, no more than about 100 meters.
What do you reckon it is?
It looks like a one-man trench to me.
Come on.
Temperatures rise far higher here than elsewhere, often to well over 50 degrees, adding substantially to the demands already placed on men and equipment.
Fire! Rogers!
Base 2, There's a move to the SUP, which 9 platoon will lead. Phase 3 will be the assault.
For troops manoeuvring, there's excellent cover among waddies and drifts.
Oi, Jonah, up here, up there, go.
The assault pioneers get to work clearing mines. When the assault comes on this final battle run, all the training that's gone before has simply got to prove its worth. The battalion group must emerge as a single, cohesive and effective fighting force. Must be fully fit, be ready to respond and play its part in any similar terrain in any part of the world. Another hillside taken. For another battalion group, the Kenya experience ends.
I've enjoyed the soldiering. I've enjoyed getting my company deployed onto the ground, seeing what they can do in this particular environment, and training them up so that if we ever get to the real thing, we're going to be there.
Coming to Kenya to train, see a bit of life, see a bit of country, and that's what we've done. I've enjoyed it, that's for sure.
Well, I enjoy it. It's good. Definitely good. I'd come here again, definitely.
But it's been thoroughly enjoyable. Worth doing.
Oh, it's great. It's brilliant. Done loads of different things that I'd never be able to do, and really enjoy myself.
It is. It's brilliant. Can't beat it. It's the best exercise I've been on.
Apart from peeling every 5 minutes with the sun, I never thought Kenya had so many high mountains. Apart from that, it's quite a nice country. Yeah, some good memories.